Google. Big Google here. The narrative the last 3 months were, where is the advertising market going to be, right? Typically, it follows with consumer sentiment and consumer purchases, and people weren't too thrilled with what them or Facebook did. But Google absolutely smashed it. I mean, 45% in improvement in actually, no, I'm misreading that. Their revenues were up 14%. What am I missing here? Sorry, Google Cloud was up 45%.
There you go.
Which includes IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. It's important to do that, but they did do incredibly well compared to expectations. People expected maybe up single digits, and they smashed it by delivering a 14% growth. Pretty amazing, I think.
Yeah, I was watching Google closely. I had the chance to go and jump in ahead of the earnings and preview them a little bit with Bloomberg. And I was looking for essentially, there's like 2 or 3 things really on my mind, Pat. First of all, always the ad revenue. Is it growing or shrinking? And where is it growing or shrinking? Seems overall revenue's up a little bit. Probably why the GDP overall has actually recovered a lot more than most people expected in this country. Business is moving quite a bit faster. And of course, some of these big companies are carrying a lot of overall weight in the GDP, because we do know certain industries are still being held down. Airlines, hotels, certain retail places that can't open, restaurants, bars. But the big tech and enterprise and a lot of B2B things are doing really strong. And Google can sort of be an indicator of both. The Section 230 stuff is interesting for me to watch too. The Section 230 and the overall regulation of Google. It was kind of bizarre because, Pat, we talked about Amazon, we talked about Microsoft. Those stocks performed fairly badly after these earnings. So despite the fact that their results were terrific, the market didn't respond all that excitedly to them. And meanwhile, Google, which is the one that's being scrutinized by regulators, and its numbers were good, but not exceptional, actually had the best pop of all of the companies on earnings, which is really weird to me. I think the company is going to have quite a battle ahead of it, especially on its search business. I mean, the cloud business is a smart diversification for the organization. It needs to be in something else, because I just have a feeling 90% control of search is going to be continually scrutinized, as it's hard to argue that it isn't anti-competitive in some way. And I look forward to seeing how Google does that. And then, of course, how information is suppressed. That could be a really interesting discussion. Politics aside, depending on which party sort of remains in the White House or ends up in the White House after the election. Then finally, Pat, I was looking at the cloud business. The 45% is good. But the more important thing was the breakout. Everybody's been waiting for this. Everybody's been waiting for Google, Oracle, all of them for that matter, even Microsoft to an extent, to all start breaking out earnings more to help understand IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. Where are you growing? Where are you succeeding? Because right now, when you sort of put it into one big lump, a lot of things become cloud that aren't necessarily really clear. So solid for Google, good result. I like what it's doing. Hopefully it holds its promise next quarter, delivers that cloud number, and delivers a good one, because it could backfire really big if the result isn't good.
Yeah, not even hats off to them. I would like to see them even break out Google Workspace from the rest of their business, right? To see, again, I'm not as religious about cloud. What's real cloud, right? I mean, real cloud isn't IaaS. I mean, it started with IaaS, and actually it started with IaaS and SaaS. If you consider Salesforce, I mean, they've been in business longer than Amazon has. So anyways, good stuff and surprising growth.